A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome in. High noon, St. Patrick's Day. Luck of the Irish. Mason rocking his green Milwaukee Bucks hat. Mace, you are on it today.
What's up? I love this hat.
Hold on. Talk again.
Can you hear me?
You were loud.
I was getting after it.
But now you're good. Okay.
Now we're good.
I don't know. Kids might have come up here and messed with my stuff too. So
That's a good hat.
yeah, this is one of my favorites. Yeah, it's cool, little throwback.
Good bango. That's a good bango.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That was the logo.
Well,
that
you
was
would
the
know, right?
mascot.
Yeah,
That was the mascot costume Mitch dressed up.
Yeah,
that was his
no,
costume.
that wasn't. I was the
He
green and
actually
purple.
modeled for it.
I was green and purple. Relax.
I love it.
But
How you boys doing today? Everybody doing all
doing
right?
all right. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Mason Crosby here. Mason, ask Tommy how he's doing today.
It's a day, man. It is a day.
Oh, what's happening?
I was morning on Mix today.
Yeah.
And
yes. How
That's
did that
Mix
go?
in
No
Milwaukee
prep.
for those of you who have Mix around the state.
it
That's
was
Mix in Milwaukee.
or Madison 105.1 as well, too, in Madison.
Okay.
But I was actually pretty salty about having to do it, as you know, I got to be up in the morning and come to my place of work. But if I was not here, the entire operation was screwed. So it was
Because of your
fate.
fault, though.
Because
Because of your fault.
How much fault should I take on this? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. I'm willing to give up to 75% of the fault. I'm not going to take
Still,
100.
That's a pretty substantial
It's
amount
a
of fault.
substantial amount of fault. But the Comrex unit, or rather the plum case unit that we brought out to
No one
Arizona.
knows what that means. Use English.
We have a Wi-Fi router that we brought out to Arizona. When I brought it out there, I used it as a check bag for me, and there was a lock put on that check bag. Now, who's the only person in the world that has a key to that lock?
Tommy.
Yeah.
TK.
So
But
if
that-
Charlie would have
that's-
worked,
But that's your fault.
Yeah, but you saved the day.
When you
Like,
brought it back
it
to
all worked
Milwaukee, you should have taken the lock. Right when you brought it back to the station, you should have taken the lock off of the case. Because no one else has the key, and other people use the case.
correct. But if you see something, Mason, that you are required to
See
grab,
something, say something.
if you are required to grab it and you see a lock on it, the next logical question would be, is there a key to
Who
this
has the
lock?
key?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So the question is,
But still your fault that you left it locked.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
did
right.
the people
Secure.
grabbing it? Did they know that that there's no?
Yes.
Were they
normally
previously
there's
familiar?
never a lock on this thing. Yes.
So they could have noticed.
They would have noticed that there is a lock on there that needs a key. Again, the reason why I was saving the day is because then it was, hey, do you know where this key is? And I have my keys right here. And sure enough, hand over.
Yes, I have it. I'm the idiot who didn't unlock it before you.
Regardless, I've been at it
I'm
since
that guy.
7 a.m.
Too
already,
early.
going
No,
after
before
it.
then.
Well,
Right?
I've been here since about 5:30.
No.
Yeah.
That is too early.
get a life.
That
bro.
is get a life.
Every
bro.
time I try to, this place ropes me back in. So
Have you even had corned beef today?
No, but I may or may not, for Mitch's sake, have put in an order of corned beef today.
Yes.
So I will eat for Mitch Nellis
Let's
because
go. You don't have to
breaking
have the
news,
bread.
I'm
You don't have to have
starving.
the potatoes. Just eat the meat.
yeah. So that's
Double
been my
meat eating,
day,
yeah.
and you know what? Still got to figure it out for 5 o'clock again today, and that's it. That's all I got. So we're back at it.
So
I'm ready.
It makes sense now when you were trying to tell me to switch my
Right.
Yeah,
connection
because there was a
thing.
whole
Everyone
thing
was
going on.
overlapping with everyone
Right.
today,
Okay.
and again, it was
I get
just
it now.
this situation of
Should we change the name of internally of one of our Comrex units? Like just because that's not really a valid name anymore.
it
That would
stands
be
for
wise,
big
yeah.
win.
Big win. Big
like
win. Nice.
Potawatomi.
Nice.
Big win. Mhm.
We've got 43 guests on the show today.
all the guests.
Yes. Coming up next in the second segment, Mike McCartney, not Mike McCarthy and not Paul McCartney, They're going to join the show. That's Mason's football agent,
That's
not
right.
to be confused with Brian Lammy, who's his marketing agent.
Gosh, so many agents.
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
unbelievable. We're going to talk about NFL free agency and like how it all breaks down from an agent's point of view. Gavin Newsom, not Governor Gavin Newsom,
Seriously.
is author of Project Tiger: The Birth of Genius and the Price of Greatness, a new book about Tiger Woods. He's going to join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour, I think from overseas.
Yes.
Like somewhere across
Heck
the pond, perhaps.
Maybe we can talk some footy.
Yes. Oh, definitely talking footy with him. I will.
And
Tommy, you will get to take like so many naps during the show.
So many
today.
naps.
And then at 1:30 from the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Austin Herdina, not to be confused with the international man of mystery, Austin Powers,
Oh, nice.
going to join us as well too. That was
That's
the
what
first.
I'm glad you you said that because I was a little confused.
Speaking of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and before we're going to talk a little bit in the first segment here about the Packers, the ad policy news that he made a couple days ago, talking about how the Packers might not be able to compete financially with other teams in the NFL because he's a liar. That's
like a side topic because
Right.
that doesn't even make sense.
Right,
but-
exactly. But before we get to that, at the Potawatomi Sportsbook right now, the U.S. Is a minus 305 favorite to beat
Jeez.
Venezuela tonight with Nolan, not John McClain, on the mound, a rookie for the New York Mets, which I don't like at all, Mason. I know we're not supposed to talk about this till the third segment, but like you got the best pitchers in the world. I get that Skeens just pitched and Skubal's not going to pitch, but you couldn't come up with anyone better. Now he's highly touted, highly regarded rookie, supposed to be very good. Didn't pitch very well in his first World Baseball. Did he pitch against Italy?
Yes.
So he got crushed by Italy.
The odds are obviously not worried about it.
Right. The odds are not worried about it, which to me is a little shocking.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet on Venezuela, and I don't want Venezuela to win. And we just kidnapped their ruler. So we got the whole politics thing going on.
I mean, that how could you not be
Do
romantic
you like
about
is that
baseball?
part of the deal? Hey,
he goes
you
free.
let us win.
He goes
yeah,
free if Venezuela wins.
We'll have a conversation. here.
I don't think Trump's up for that. But I don't feel overly confident about the starting pitcher for the U.S. tonight, man.
All right.
Just throwing that out there. Having nothing to do with politics, just having to do with baseball. But I also hope he stinks just because I hope the Mets stink.
I like that. I like that mindset.
Yeah,
I think
by the way,
that's a positive mindset.
By the way, the Brewers yesterday were losing 7-0 to the Dodgers and won 24-9.
Yeah.
Seriously, is this going to be how the season is? Is it going to be like that heartbreak or that just like the cardiac Brewers where it's
Could be
like they just look awful in the first 5 innings and then just go on a run and
I'll
it's
take
like
it.
they're down 4-0 every game and then they win 9-4.
I hope so.
I mean, that'd be great, but that's gonna be stressful. You know how I am with baseball. I'm like every
game, right? Every game
And
counts like football.
You hooked yourself way too hard last year. You're
Which
going
was
to be
great.
off and running
I
even
know.
sooner
I'm
this
dialed in.
year. On
I'm
game
dialed in.
1, they put up 20 runs against them, and the season's over.
Mary right away writes in on YouTube. I'm cooking a corned beef on the smoker. Can't wait to eat. Happy St. Patrick's Day, fellas. Go USA Baseball. Mary, send an address because I'll be right over.
Seriously.
Mason, as another offseason of eye-popping player contracts and franchise valuations continues, the CEO of one of the NFL's flagship franchises fears being left behind. In an interview, Green Bay Packers president and CEO Ed Policy says the new surge of wealth coming into the league threatens the league's vaunted economic parity. And with that in mind, Policy says the Packers will take a more aggressive posture on revenue growth.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's confusing whenever everything is shared and the salary cap is what it is.
Mhm.
They don't have any issues paying the player. They print money up there at 1265.
They sure do.
I don't quite understand without an owner of what you're going to who's going to get more money if they is that to sway free agents? Is that to get your grades better?
It can't.
Are we looking at the
for,
NFLPA grading stuff?
It could be grading things. It can't be money for free
But
agents.
their facilities can't get any better.
Right.
Every time every couple of years, they are updating facilities. They have some of the best facilities in the NFL. I don't know what else. They spend all that money buying all the land and doing Titletown and doing all that. what is more revenue going to do for that franchise?
Well,
like, you're not competing in any way.
Yeah, and the question is, like, with no billion, again, it says no billionaire owner. The Packers have built a corporate reserve fund exceeding $600 million.
Jeez.
But if you think about it, if other teams can sell like 10% of their team to a new minority owner, and if their franchise, let's say that it's a team, the Dolphins, I think, are valued at $12 billion, and they just sold 1%. But let's say they sold 10%. Yeah. Their owner all of a sudden would get $1.2 billion to be able to do stuff with. But that doesn't, like, how does that affect your competitiveness on the
that would
field?
just go in the owner's pocket,
right?
And he would go and buy a yacht and an island somewhere. But in Green Bay, how does that work? Like, I would say for the city of Green Bay, yeah, sure, more revenue. Maybe they can put more out into the community and like support.
Shovel when there's 2 feet of
the
snow.
Green Bay, yeah, exactly. They shovel everyone's driveway for like with that extra money. They go out there and just have people shoveling. But maybe they wouldn't have to actually hire everyone for $5 an hour to come shovel the stadium. But I know people love that, so I don't think that should ever end. But I am curious about, like, honestly, for me, it's like more of a feel thing. Like, how do people feel about the idea of Lambeau Field, the stadium, getting naming rights? If that's where they want to look for revenue.
We're soon to be the only stadium without naming rights, policy said, referring to the expected wind down of Soldier Field, which right now does not have a naming right. That's not a threshold we're looking to cross anytime soon, but we might be a little more aggressive with some of the other entitlement inventory we just haven't taken of, like the training facility or other things at Titletown. So I think those other things he's more looking to get corporate sponsorship on sooner, but he didn't fully rule out Lambeau getting, the Quick Trip Lambeau Field.
I saw all the
Culver's, all the cousin subs, all the Wisconsin-based companies, right?
Yeah. How do y'all feel about that? If like the stadium got naming rights, it was whatever company at Lambeau Field, does that muddy it up and kind of like kill some of your, like kind of the feel and the nostalgia and the aura, if you will, of what the mystique of Lambeau Field? Does that kill some of it? I know I had this conversation with Molly. She was like, "Ooh, gross. Yeah. Please, I hope they never do that." And again, she asked like that same question. Why?
Yeah.
Where's that money going? Do like, what does it do?
So
like they can put in a new indoor facility. They can tear like bigger, taller ceilings. I don't know what they do with it.
Okay, punters are getting better. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Your thoughts on even broaching this conversation, because I don't think the Packers are anywhere close to putting naming rights on Lambeau Field specifically. I wouldn't be surprised about
maybe the field in Titletown,
Nitschke Field, or the ski hill, or whatever it might be. I don't think it's happening to Lambeau Field anytime soon. But what, even broaching the conversation, I'm kind of with Molly. Like, no, thank you. Like this is a non-starter for me. I think this is silly. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being naive, or if I'm being, or if it's just the way of the world. You put money on everything. But
I guess, yeah, I think for me too, it's that where in a world, I get if maybe it was Major League Baseball or NBA, like still has, they have some sharing, but maybe let's just like say Major League Baseball.
Yep.
If this were the Brewers that were owned by the city and it was like set up in the same structure, sure, let's bring in as much money as we can so we can go and sign someone to a 10-year, a 10-year, $300 million deal or whatever, $500 million deal. But the NFL does not work that way. Like there is a set salary cap. Like they get the revenue share like everyone else that covers all of those dollars. And then everything is out on top. Whenever you're bringing in, what was their revenue last year? Or their profit? It was $80 million, $100 million, something like that. I think it was crazy. During the lockout, so just during the lockout, mind you, after they bought all the land around Lambeau Field, they said they were losing money or they weren't making as much in profit and in like to have in reserves from the previous year. And Aaron Campman was the rep at the time. And so he combated that and said, like, look at your, like, we can look at your books, and you spent exponentially more than like you have in, 25 years.
Yep.
You went and bought all these things. You spent $100 million. Like, so to say you only made, you only increase your revenue or your profit by, 5% year over year is a little skewed because of the spending outside of the team. So like all that stuff to me is just, the business side, the financial side. It's very fascinating in a sport where everything is shared, the revenue sharing is there, and nobody benefits from increasing revenue.
So
like, who gets that money? Like, is Ed Policy going to make some side deals and like, just like get a little more in his pocket? I don't know what's going to happen.
the total revenue released back from July of 2025 was $719 million. The profit from operations was $83.7 million. They got $432 million from the national revenue of the NFL share, $286 million for the local revenue. Their total expenses $635.4 million. Again, that's 83.7 profit from their operations in Lambeau.
Okay, so we have some good ideas of why. On I guess Kuhn brought this up on his show. Is saying that they want to line those coffers a little bit more. Get that war chest or that treasure chest
For
or whatever.
what? But for what?
I will say from like an NFLPA side, we had our war chest, whenever a lockout happened or something happened, but it was never enough to combat NFL owners, right?
Right.
Each one of those billionaire owner, all the money they have, like the $800 million that we had in reserves was never going to win a battle. It was more, let's keep making money together. I don't know what
are you doing with that money?
What the reason is? Just to stow it away. Maybe they are predicting another lockout or another labor dispute here in a few years.
And to Mitch's point, the silver lining, I guess, of if this were to ever happen, what are you doing with that money? Mitch, we will know. With like the Packers release all of this stuff, and then there would be at least allocated from this money. However, no one's going to recognize it as this Lambeau Field presented by whatever it is. It will always just be Lambeau Field. So this company would need to know that it's not changing. If
they'll have the signage.
Yes, but no one will ever. I mean, look at how long it takes. There's still people that call it County Stadium, right?
I mean, they have gates sold, right? Like all the gates are sold, and like
the gates are sold at
licensing and things like that.
It's just that if the Green Bay Packers want to keep this lure that they do things differently, then they can't do this. Like that will automatically disqualify them. You will have sold out. You will have been a part of the corporation, and you lose a little bit of community if you are the Green Bay Packers, if you do that.
Yeah, instantly. Like it just changes the whole mystique of what Green Bay is, and coming and playing at Lambeau Field, right? Which is that is what it is, and that's what it should stay. Like find other ways, right? Like sell off all the other stuff. Do whatever you can, but keep Lambeau Field.
Real quick, some text messages, and then we'll break for Mike McCartney, who's coming up next, Mason's agent, to talk about NFL free agency. Tyson says, I believe if they do it, it has to be a cheese company in Wisconsin. It's the only way I think it's okay, but I'd rather they not do it, Sargento. Okay. Dan in the 715 says, whatever it takes to keep up with the Joneses. But
maybe
it's
we
not,
could just we could just trade him the stadium. I don't know.
But even selling the stadium rights, like let's say you sell them for $300 million over 10 years, like you're still gonna have far less than the billionaire owners have.
Yeah, it just doesn't even actually move the needle.
Exactly.
Like in any kind of way that
like if I have $5 billion and my war chest for the Packers goes from $600 million to $900 million, the owner of Jerry Jones still has $5 billion.
Yeah, exactly. He could sell like 1% of his team and have $5 billion.
Exactly.
There is a chance that Miller Coors has something very funny they could do in this whole situation after losing naming rights and then popping back into naming rights in the state of Wisconsin. Just saying.
Miller Park at Lambeau.
Lambeau Field.
Lambeau
Miller
Field at Miller Park. This is the Mason Crosby Show. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby, a.k.a. the Kicker, rocking his green Bucks hat on this St. Patrick's Day. Tommy and I are about to dig into some corned beef. Mason's 5 Guinness deep. Just kidding, man. Just kidding.
No, just Jameson and coffee. No big
Oh,
deal.
yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, look at that corned beef.
Ooh.
Look at that hunk of, oh, yeah. Let's go, Tommy.
Can't believe you did that.
Mike McCartney, NFL agent, is next on the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy.
Just know, while Mitch is finishing up his, I already have housed 3 pieces of corned beef in that break right there. I was starving.
So good. Shout out Natty Oaks.
Oh man,
for crushing it. They do a great job over there, no doubt. We were there.
Piece left.
Oh, nice.
Right, yeah.
You've done a bunch of leadoff shows there, right, Tommy? Or a few?
Yeah.
Over at Natty Oaks. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're great.
Yeah, definitely a good spot. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Mason Crosby in the house. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Joining the show, NFL agent to the stars, Mr. Mike McCartney. Mike, thanks so much for jumping on the show today.
Absolutely. Good to be on with you guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And what was it? You've had trouble clients in the past, I'm sure. But was anyone more just like ridiculous, like the bowl of green M&Ms in their rider, and like was anyone more difficult than Mason Crosby?
Yeah. At the risk of shortening this show, Mason is extremely high maintenance. No.
Yes, exactly. we know, Mike.
Just a difficult guy to work with.
Way ahead of the game on that.
He was saved though because he's the University of Colorado Buffalo, and so he's always had a special place in my heart as a result.
That's right. I could do no wrong. Yeah. Mike McCartney joining us. He's my longtime NFL agent, former Colorado Buff. If you don't know, the last name, his dad, Bill McCartney, won that national championship. Yep, there at Colorado, and was just such a great coach and was so awesome there in November when I went into the Colorado Hall of Fame. There was also a ceremony for Bill McCartney and putting a statue up and like honoring him and his legacy. So the whole McCartney family was there. It was so perfect to get to see all that.
And you get to
is that the statue?
Yeah, that's a statue. And my sister-in-law got inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame with Mason that night. So
nice.
It was a really cool weekend for our family.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. Well, so Mike, we'll dive into some college stuff because I have some questions. We love to talk on the show about the NIL world and what's going on in college sports, but I do want to talk about the NFL free agency process from your agent perspective. What that looks like as we build up to free agency that started last week, going to the combine, doing all the stuff. What is your process as you start seeing that guys might re-sign or you got free agents coming up? Like, how do you kind of dive into that process, here in early March?
Yeah, certainly. We have our list of free agents and we look at the marketplace and see where, we think they can fit in that marketplace, but teams don't always agree with that. So, the combine has been really interesting. Legally teams aren't allowed to talk in depth with us about where they, what their plans are, but we have a chance to, share about our players and what we're kind of looking for. I never talk money at the combine. It's really just kind of who's going to be on our dance card type of thing. Yeah. And really what I have found though, in the last few years, the combine has not been as fruitful for me. And so, honestly, this year I turned down a lot of meetings and chances to meet with teams, and there's just too much time between the combine and the start of free agency. And then think about this. We had 10 head coaching changes. We had 14 defensive coordinator changes and 21 offensive coordinator changes. Teams were not ready for free agency in most teams until the couple days leading up to it. So the conversations really aren't as fruitful as they used to be anyway. And then when the gun goes off, it's nuts. We're going to try and talk to all 32 teams about each player. And of course we have an idea going into it and we focus more on those teams, but you just don't know who's going to call when your phone's going to ring. And it is a hectic few days. And I do want to illustrate how hectic it is. So as you know, free agency started a week ago, Monday, March 9th. And my wife and I had our anniversary on Thursday, March 12th. It was our 32nd anniversary.
Mazel tov.
Nice. Thank you. And we had agreed ahead of time. We were going to wait to go to dinner Friday night. And so Thursday, I hustle out. I go get a couple cards. Of course, I'm on my phone. I'm distracted. I don't even have my readers on me. And Friday night, we're kind of getting ready. And she's like, oh, we haven't even exchanged cards yet. So I go back to my office. I quickly fill out the cards and I hand them to her. And they both said, "Happy birthday."
Oh, no.
Double birthday cards. Perfect for the anniversary. I love that.
So I don't know what illustrates that kind of a week better for me than that.
Yeah, just total chaos.
tremendous.
That is awesome. Yeah, and talk about high maintenance, Mike. You talked about me being high maintenance. I mean, we never had to go into that period of time with the Packers. I mean, I had a couple where we had some stressful moments. We had to renegotiate, 2012 to 13. But I mean, I always re-signed, before the craziness. I did that as a kindness and a service to you so that you could just, deal with all the other, high maintenance linebackers, quarterbacks, all the guys that, need all that attention. So who do you representing right now that either signed a deal or you're still, out there looking to get on the team?
Yeah. So I had Boye Mafe with the Super Bowl winning Seahawks, and Boye is a talented pass rusher out of the University of Minnesota, played a lot for 4 years, and just with their scheme and how everything went, being on a really good team and a really good D line, he ended up with 2 sacks this year. And I heard that a lot from every team. Like, how do we pay a guy top dollar with only 2 sacks? And so ultimately, though, that was something we feel great about. Ended up getting him with the Bengals for $20 million a year and did a 3-year deal with the Bengals. And really excited about how they're going to play him in their scheme. One of the things that's new this year is we were able to put our player on a Zoom with a team up to an hour. And so we did have Boye meet with a couple teams, and that was invaluable because in years past, they had to rely solely on the agent. And
I think that's a great adjustment. Yeah, that's
it
good.
Is.
You can do that now.
Yeah. And listen, with my football background and my scouting background, that played to my strengths a little bit, but still put a lot of pressure on me to articulate it all for the team now to say, hey, here's how we see you, your strengths, your weaknesses, and here's how we're going to employ you in our scheme. That gave Boye, in this instance with the Bengals, a lot of confidence that he would fit great. Then Nakobe Dean, linebacker with the Eagles. Nakobe is I'll use an old school term, a playmaking Jesse. He's not the biggest linebacker. He's endured a few injuries along the way, but he is an instinctive playmaker. And, the Eagles pretty much drafted his replacement last year, Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. And as much as they wanted him back, they're having some cap issues. So we ended up choosing the Las Vegas Raiders, and, $12 million a year for Nakobe is a good deal. So those were 2 good deals, and they both went Monday afternoon. Those Zooms helped, again, to help the player learn about the club, maybe buy a little time for me to continue to talk to other teams was beneficial. And then I've got my typical quarterback, as you called him, high maintenance without calling him by name, Kirk Cousins.
I know I was going to ask you directly, like what's going on there. And I just wanted you to talk about some of his past contracts because, with Minnesota, you were one of the first to get, a fully guaranteed deal there.
Yeah, so he was drafted by Washington, hardly played his first 3 years, and then started in year 4. And, at that point, Washington wasn't sure he could be a long-term starter and tried to sign him to a below-market deal, at least the way we viewed it. And ultimately, I had said to Kirk, hey, if you play on the franchise tag, you're an ascending young player who's only going to get better. So we can make an assumption you're going to get the second year in a row of franchise tag. Well, the franchise tag back then was $20 million for a quarterback. We knew because you get a 20% bump automatically that year 2 would be $24 million. So what that $44 million combined framed the negotiation going forward. And Washington couldn't get there, and he went to the market, and we signed a 3-year, first ever fully guaranteed contract in NFL history with the Vikings, and did a couple extensions with them. His last year, his 6th year in Minnesota, he tears his Achilles in Lambeau Field, which we blame the grass.
We're a pro grass show, Mike.
We're
Careful.
pro grass.
We're pro
Yeah,
grass.
I mean,
Let's be pro good grass. But anyway,
That's a different kind of show, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's April 20th.
That's
Anyway.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So, coming off that Achilles, Minnesota, knew that they were hoping to draft a quarterback and really could only commit 1 year to Kirk. And Atlanta told us what we wanted to hear and gave us the requisite contract and then, misled us by drafting Michael Penix. So the last couple of years in Atlanta was really difficult for Kirk. And listen, at the end of the day, they're good people, but they misled us and it was a bad decision. They all got fired, So going into this year, Kirk has $10 million fully guaranteed. And what we couldn't foresee, in the last several months leading up to this offseason, there were 4 quarterbacks that were essentially available for the league minimum this year. And that really changed the calculus or the psychology of how teams looked at the quarterback market. I went into free agency knowing there were 9 teams that needed a starting quarterback. 3 of them were absolutely going to go cheap because they had options, right? Yeah. There were another 3 or 4 teams that I always felt like would have an eye on the 2027 quarterback draft, which sitting here today has a chance to be pretty special. Now, NIL can change all that, up and down play, injuries, whatever. But sitting here today, it looks like a very promising draft. And so these teams with a new coach, a new GM, maybe don't have to win right away. And so they could make a decision either with a cheap quarterback or maybe a young one, catch lightning in a bottle and not go after the 38-year-old starter. So kind of felt like the last week or two heading into free agency, like this was going to be a challenge for us. And, with Kirk, I just said, listen, we got 3 avenues. Of course, we got to look for a starting job. And right now that starting job looks like it's a team asking you to play for the minimum. The second avenue is play as a backup. Now, if you're going to be a backup, let's go to a team that's really good so that if you have a chance to get on the field, it might be the best team you've ever played on, or we can be patient and just let things, play out, whether it's the draft or even early into the season. There's always something that goes on at that position, whether it's injury or poor play. So we're still working through all 3 of those avenues right now. And we've been through that the last couple of weeks.
Mike. It's funny to hear that because I literally I can't tell you how many times Mike and I had that 3-prong conversation. Well, we can,
there's your options.
Go with the Packers. We can, kind of wait it out and see what other teams are there. And then it's like those conversations happen all the time, back and forth with NFL agent. Go ahead, Tommy.
I'm Tommy, you're up.
Yeah, Mike, I had a question. And Mike McCartney joining us here from Vayner Sports on the Mason Crosby show. I'm sure it's different for you now that you've been doing this for a little bit, but you just keep throwing around, $45 million a year. And, we got him 24 million and 20 million over here. Like when you go into your first meeting talking about Kirk Cousins' deal or any of these deals where that number just hit, what's that like? Is it just this adrenaline rush that you're going through constantly? Is it, a pressure pack that you got to control your emotions during this? Because for a lot of us, when you hear a number like $45 million a year, a fully guaranteed $200 million contract, I mean, there's a lot of pressure to get a deal done, but you also kind of have an idea of this will get done by someone eventually.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't really think along those lines in a negotiation. It's more, just looking at the marketplace, making a case why a Mason Crosby should be at this number and comparing to the comparable players, that are in that marketplace. One of the things that I've always done is I never look at the total dollars until I'm done. I just because I don't want that to sway, how we think. Like, let's just stay on point, keep talking football, keep talking about fit.
Is that something that you also avoid with your athletes then too?
Well, I try to, listen, a lot of players, there's so much education that goes in before you get to a negotiation to try to get them to understand how this is going to go. And it's interesting. I've always said to teams and players, I really have two negotiations every time, one with the club and one with the player, and some of my toughest negotiations have been with players, to be honest. I've been fortunate. Mason can attest. I get to work with great people, high character guys that love football. And some of those guys are so team oriented that they will literally say, that's plenty of money for me. Let me sign that and save for the other guys. And I have to educate them.
So you're negotiating on their behalf. You're like, all right, come on.
Seriously, so I just try to stay the course when I'm going through something and not try to think how it affects, me personally or the firm or any of that nonsense. Like, hey, what's best for the player? And then honestly, I want to get myself, for lack of a better term, in a lather to sell it with conviction and belief. And so many times when the negotiation ends, I'm miserable because I didn't get every dollar that I was trying to get. And I've kind of taught myself through the years that take that hour after a deal, be miserable, embrace that suck in a sense, to try and kind of say, hey, where could I have been better? Where can I learn? Where can I grow and be a better negotiator the next time? So that's kind of where my focus is when I'm going through these things.
I love that. And, obviously our connection through Colorado and then your experience through coaching at Colorado and going back after that, and then becoming a scout, and like your progression to becoming an agent has served you really well through this job, right? Because you see players through a different lens, not just, hey, let's get them the best, the deal, throw all this money, do all this. Like, you evaluate the players that you sign up that you want to represent from a football standpoint, not just a dollars and cents standpoint as well.
No doubt. I sat in those free agent meetings for 9 years. I was a pro guy with the Bears for 6. I was the director of pro for the Eagles for 3. I ran those meetings. And so I do look at it from a football perspective, and believing that if I just talk football and answer any concerns or really drive home why this player is a great fit in the scheme, in the room, in the locker room, whatever it might be, I think that plays to my strengths and then sells the player better in the long run. So I definitely lean on my football background as I negotiate.
I love it. I guess I got one more question, and I want to go to I kind of want to go to college, maybe specifically Colorado. Like, how you viewing the university right now? How do you think CU Buffs are going to be this year? And then just
and
just
is Dion crazy?
Touch a little bit on the kind of crazy landscape of what college football, NIL and all that space has been. And are you involved in any of that side of things from the college side?
Definitely involved in NIL. I'll start with the Buffs. I thought when Dion got there, his strategy was to sign former 5- and 4-star guys at top 10 programs. Not that they would put it this way, that effectively failed. And they went to Colorado and they failed in many cases, Now, Hunter comes in and saves us, and Shador was a good quarterback, obviously. But last year it blew up in our face. And I feel like they've done a 180. They have a new GM in charge, and now they're going down levels. And they're looking for guys who, it's not theory anymore. These guys have been playmakers. They've made plays. Now, to ask me how I'm going to say we, because I still bleed black and gold. Right. How we're going to do.
That's fair.
Yeah, how we're going to do. How do we know? Like, we're signing G5 and D2 guys that none of us have ever heard of, and the concern is there's so many changes, how do you build a team, And so the fear is that Colorado is in this up and down nature. One year we're good, the next year we're not very good, because our roster churns and turns over so much every year. So no clue how we're going to be. I think there's promise with the quarterback. I actually have a player that we signed that our firm represents to him, but again, until we see the product on the field, I don't think we have a clue how they're going to be. And they could be a lot better. I have heard that a lot of the kids that came in previously came in with attitudes. And again, if you
Yeah.
think about it, if you're coming from Alabama, Georgia, and all these top programs, they don't view Colorado in that sense. So there's a little bit of a disappointment in a sense. Well, now you're coming from different schools that are below Colorado, and they're excited to be a Buff.
Yeah.
This is a dream come true. And they've got 30 or 40 of those kids. So the hope is they evaluated well, and then they can integrate them and build a culture and a team, So, but again, no idea how Colorado's going to be this year.
Mike, we're
It's a
kind
coin
of
flip.
up against it, but I got to ask, have you ever represented a special teams coordinator in any contract negotiations?
I have not. I don't represent coaches, so just.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just wondering if there could be any overlap.
I'd have to get
here.
a new agent if I became a
Whoa,
coordinator.
whoa!
Is that
I did
what,
not say that, Molly. I did not say that. Okay,
These guys have been pushing me
Lad.
to try to get me to become a special teams
And
coordinator.
then
We think Mason would be really good at it. That's
Mason
all.
would be great at it.
Yeah.
You do have kicker, obviously, experience. Real quick, I don't know if it's taboo to talk about other people. Is Brandon Aubrey going to be the first 8-figure man at the kicking position?
No, I don't see that. Per year, I don't see them doing that.
Okay.
Right.
But
He has floated out that number, or his people have.
yeah, I don't see the Cowboys going that high. This isn't like Lindenbaum, going to the Raiders. And, one point about that, remember this, he's in a closed market. He can't talk to anybody else effectively because no one's going to give
He's
him
restricted.
a first rounder. It's when you're in an open market that you can really blow through a marketplace. You can't do that in a closed market.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much for jumping on today. This was a blast. Can we have you back sometime?
Absolutely. Anytime for Mason, a very low maintenance podcaster.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
We'll keep it easy for you. Appreciate you, Mike.
He's Mike
Appreciate you
McCartney,
guys.
NFL agent and Mason's agent, and just an absolute blast to have on the show. Joined us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. We'll be back with more here on the Mason Crosby Show. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Mason Crosby here. Our thanks to Mike McCartney for jumping on. And we're going to jump right back into it in the second hour of the show. There's a new Tiger Woods book out, and so we're going to jump into that, Mace. And Mace, you'll get
I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, you'll talk golf. You'll probably talk some footy. You'll talk all the things you like to talk. It's all going to work out.
Where is he from? Is he from?
I don't know.
Jolly old England.
His number is weird, man.
So he could be anywhere.
You don't even know.
Yeah, there's an area code that is not from America.
Okay. No. Gavin Newsham. That sounds very British. I think he's from England.
Doesn't it? Yeah. So we'll figure that out.
Great.
But we're going to talk some Tiger Woods when we come back, and then Austin Herdina from Potawatomi is going to jump on because we got all sorts of gambling things to talk about, right?
Oh, for sure.
Now that we're getting to March Madness.
No
and the
doubt.
Bucks
Nebraska all the way. Oh,
Bucks
Bucks
are underdogs by Bucks are underdogs by 1,000 tonight. So this is the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. And, of course, Mason Crosby, again, rocking the green Bucks hat with the old school bango on it. If you're watching us on YouTube and Twitter, you know what that's all about. And you should be watching us on YouTube and Twitter. We are must-watch content.
Content.
We're not television. We're content. Video
we're content creators. Yeah.
We're just content creators. No big deal.
No big deal.
Exactly. Thanks again to Mike McCartney for joining us and talking about some NFL free agency. Joining us now on the show on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law, one call. That's all. Author Gavin Newsham. He wrote Project Tiger, The Birth of Genius and the Price of Greatness. Gavin, thanks so much for jumping on the show today.
Welcome. You're welcome. It's great to be there. How are you doing? You all right?
We're doing great, except we got like 10 inches of snow on the ground. So besides that, we're doing well.
You see, I'm based in the UK, and we've got a rare day of sunshine here, which is, I think, the first time in about 15 years, as far as I can remember. Yeah. So,
right. That's awesome. So, before we dive into your book, I have to ask, I think we saw that you are from Brighton.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure I know where your supportership lies in the premiership, but are you a rare one where you're outside the community, or are you a Brighton fan?
No, season tickets. Yeah, me and my son, we go home and away. Yeah, always there. Yeah,
I love it.
Home and away. I love that.
Yeah, well, he's more away than I am, actually. My son's 22, so he's him and his gang of mates go all over the country seeing the Seagulls. Yeah, so yeah, been an average season, but we'll take that, I guess. In the grand scheme of things, it's a world away from where they once were a few years ago. So yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, you're one of the rare, like, optimistic football fans over there in England. I applaud you for that.
Oh, you've got me on a good day, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that sun shining gave you a little more optimism for sure. All right, well, let's dive into this book. Tell our listeners a little bit about what this book is and why you decided to write it, and just kind of run it down for us.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So, well, I guess it wasn't because there weren't any books about Tiger Woods.
Right.
There's been a few. I started thinking about it when maybe a couple of years ago, and I was thinking, Tiger's approaching 50. It's going to be 30 years this year since he turned pro. And I've got a library of sports books at home, and many of them are on Tiger. And I just thought there's not been one about his childhood, his college years, and his amateur career. And so I started looking into that, and it struck me that is actually an incredible story in and of itself, before he turns pro. That's why the book stops when he turns pro in August 96, because I guess we all know what happened after then.
Right.
But I think maybe we don't know what happened or how he got there in the first place. So that's the general focus.
What part of that? I love the concept of, like, the relationship with his father and, like, how he pushed him and all those things. What, as you kind of started uncovering and, like, doing the research on this, what was kind of the most interesting thing you found between his father and Tiger's relationship?
Well, I mean, his father Earl often said that his relationship with Tiger transcended the parent-child relationship kind of thing, and that they became best friends, and that he was treated each other as equals. I think maybe there's something in that, but certainly Tiger inherited a lot of his father's traits too, and as that proved in his later life, in his personal life, I guess. But I think what was really interesting was that his mother's role as well is almost, if not more important than Earl's role in his journey to greatness, because she was the disciplinarian of the two parents. She was the one who said he could only play golf once his schoolwork was done. and not just done, but done to the highest possible standard. So I think between the two of them, they made a formidable kind of backroom team for Tiger when he was growing up, I think.
Yeah, and you you kind of allude to, or not kind of, you definitely allude to all that intense focus on being an elite student, elite golfer and athlete. What that led to, kind of the sacrifice and personal cost that Tiger had to give up and sacrifice to become the type of generational talent that he was on the golf course.
Yeah, I think there's that in itself though leads to entitlement. I think, and that's what happened when his private life imploded in 2008, 2009. That the idea that he wasn't going to go on and become the greatest ever golfer and eclipse Jack Nicklaus's records wasn't in doubt until that point, I think. And I think beyond that, after what happened, all the affairs that came out, it was just, it was actually quite sad and quite disappointing, really. I think he got a bit of a pass maybe from people in the game for doing all the things that he did purely because they knew what he'd given them on a financial basis, I guess, and the way that the game had changed purely because of him. But he's still, I still suspect he's the biggest draw in golf, to be honest, and the fact that everyone's still so desperate for him to play, even though he's the wrong side of 50 and his body's ravaged by injury, just shows what an impact he had, I think.
No doubt about it. Yeah. Gavin Newsom, Project Tiger, The Birth of Genius and the Price of Greatness, available wherever you find books. When he first started, and I don't know, you probably saw this, his first professional tournament was the Greater Milwaukee Open, but just when he took the golf world by storm, he changed the sport. He changed the money in the sport. He changed, I'm and Mason and Tommy make fun of me all the time whenever we talk golf, because I'm not a golf fan, but everyone stopped on Sundays when Tiger was golfing to watch Tiger. And what, is that type of impact available again in the world of golf? Can anyone ever take the world of golf by storm again like Tiger Woods did?
I can't see it, to be honest. No, I mean, it's you mentioned his pro debut in '96 at the Greater Milwaukee Open, and I must have spoken to 20 or 30 people that were there that week, and from TV execs, from people from Nike, people from Titleist, as well as scores of players that played with him, and they'd never seen anything like it. This was he's a 20-year-old kid who just dropped out of college, 2 years into college, and everybody is there to see him, and nobody is there to see anybody else. I mean, no disrespect to the Great Milwaukee Open, but it's not the biggest tournament on the PGA Tour.
No disrespect taken. We know who we are.
Yeah, but for that week it was. Do you know what I mean? And in that week, golf changed. I think forever. I really do believe it changed forever.
And what I'm just so intrigued by, we talk about youth sports a lot, and obviously here in America, it's you get, you're pushing your kids and you're trying to get them into the best opportunities and training them and doing all of that. What aspect do you think in his young training from his dad Earl and his push from his mom to be the best student and all these things, do you put a direct association to that being some of the reason later on, all of his personal life and all of those things imploded, just from all that pressure and from that expectation of greatness as a young kid?
Yeah, I think that idea of the pushy parent, in sport is a well-worn trope, I think. But you think of Richard Williams and the Williams sisters in tennis, but it's rare that it leads to such success, And in Tiger, I think that there was a massive part of him where he never wanted to disappoint his parents, and so that I think that coupled with some of Earl's mental fortitude techniques, if you can call them that, he even had a sports psychiatrist at the age of 14. That's when he got his first one, Jay Brunzer. So his dad was doing everything to make him the toughest possible competitor. I think he called him an assassin on the golf course, and he was. He was absolutely unbeatable at times. You know, if you think about his amateur career, you know, from 91 to 96, it would have been. So he won 3 US junior amateurs on the trot, and then he won 3 US amateur championships on the trot. So that's six tournaments on the spin, 36 games of golf unbeaten, and countless games. And I've spoken to many of the players that played against him in these tournaments. In countless games, he's maybe 5, 6, 7 shots down at any given time in the game. But there's something within him that he refused to lose, you know, and that's down to his dad, I think, and then the kind of killer instinct that he instilled in him, I think.
That's awesome. What who did you interview through this process? Like, what kind of conversations did you have to gather this research and all the information that you got to write this book?
Yeah, I interviewed scores of people, really. I mean, a lot of people like childhood coaches, you know, Rudy Duran, John Anselmo's son as well, school friends, university teammates at Stanford. You know, many of the people who he beat up on the golf course along the way as well. You know, many of whom decided golf wasn't for them. You know, in the wake of losing to him, decided to do something else instead. You know, there's one guy who Tiger beat in the US Junior Amateur Final, Brad Schwetzker, and he lost to Tiger in heartbreaking fashion. He could have won it quite easily, and then within a few years, he'd given up golf entirely and become a chaplain instead because
he found God and getting beat down.
Yeah, because there's no point. I mean, so many people have just, you know, even sort of PGA Tour pros, you know, have said to me, when he turned up, we all realised we had to raise our game. You know, we had to, because this kid was off the scale. You know, he's a 20-year-old kid out of college and he was just beating everybody, better than everybody, longer off the tee than everybody, better short game, better mental game, everything, you know, and it made everybody step up, I think.
And that's kind of like where we look at, you know, we throw around, unfortunately, the GOAT term a little too willy-nilly these days. But whenever you look at someone like Tiger, and, you know, in the soccer space, in football space, if you look at like a Messi and Ronaldo, you know, it's like these top guys, they transcend an era, right? Because I'd just be curious, like, as you're kind of looking and you're diving into his numbers, what he did as a junior, all that, like, do you believe that Tiger Woods, if he was starting right now, like, it wouldn't matter, he would still dominate the way he did?
I think he would, yeah. I mean, you've got to bear in mind as well that the equipment they use now compared to when Tiger started is completely different. You know,
yeah, exactly.
You know, so he'd be hitting it even further than he used to. You know, so
he helped push that equipment and all that forward, right? Because Nike and all these companies, they're just like, all right, we're going to lean into Tiger Woods and his exceptional play, and we're going to find ways to even make this that much better because the money now is going to a new level.
No, it's great. It's a great point, and also, you know, it forced golf courses themselves into changing the layouts of their golf courses, making it tiger-proofing their golf courses, they called it, and it was, you know, and that's, you know, golf courses got longer and longer. They're probably an average of about 1,000 yards longer than they used to be when Tiger was first starting out as a pro now, and that's all down to him, you know, the fact that he was reducing them to like pitch and putts pretty much most weeks. So, yeah,
I know. Some of the lines he would take, you know, where he's aiming left over the top of these trees, still hitting driver, and he can hit that thing, you know, 150 feet up in the air apex and just get it over to a spot that nobody else would even think about going for. Those are the moments that I remember the most, you know, in his early years of just like everybody's hitting, you know, playing the course as it's set up, and he's just playing a completely different game.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I spoke to, when he played his first Masters in '95, when he was still at Stanford, he played with the British Amateur Champion in the practice round, Lee James, and Nick Faldo as well. And those two, I think it was 13th, I think it's a par 5, and they were playing that. And, you know, Lee James and Nick Faldo, Faldo wasn't that long off the tee, but James was quite long. And he said they were hitting like maybe 3-4 irons into the green for their second shot. And Tiger was hitting like a 9 iron into this. They were going, what the hell is going on? You know, this guy is just ridiculous. But it's phenomenal that he's what he could do on a golf course even back then. You know, and it's also in a way that it makes it sadder that he never quite fulfilled, his lifelong ambition of beating Jack Nicklaus's records of 18 majors. I'm sure he would have done if he did not. I'm sure he would have done if he'd private life wouldn't have been imploded back then. But yeah,
the pressure of being just that young talent and all the things that come with it, and then in a sense being shielded and guarded and led by his parents, and then the freedom of all that success and everything that came with it led him down this path that just ended up, unfortunately, cutting his run at that Jack Nicklaus major title way too short for so many people. But still, he still influences the game more than anyone else, right? I mean, Scotty Scheffler on a run for the ages, all this stuff, but it's still Tiger Woods at the Genesis Open and his TGL stuff. He still influences the game more than any other golfer ever has.
Yeah, I mean, he has that rare thing. I think that's a genuine star power. Like you say, Scotty Scheffler, incredible golfer, charismatic, not really. But Rory, great bloke, great guy, and everything. Not a patch on Tiger in his prime, I'm afraid. But and that's why everybody's desperate to see him return to action. Even if it means him being the Ryder Cup captain, next time round in Ireland, then we'll see how he gets on with that. And I don't think he'll play the Champions Tour, really. I mean, there's not a lot in it for him.
There's no point.
No, but you can use a golf cart on there, of course. So that might help him in terms of his many injuries and ailments.
I beg him that he doesn't do it. Seeing Tiger riding around in a golf cart, playing on the Champions Tour might degrade his legendary status a little bit.
You can't see it, can you? No.
Exactly. Well, Gavin Newsham, author of Project Tiger, The Birth of Genius and the Price of Greatness. Gavin, plug your book. Tell everyone where they can get it. Just how to get this great read. I can't wait to read it myself.
Yeah, it's the obvious place to go is Amazon. It's on there, but all good bookshops and probably some bad ones as well. So just look online.
Perfect.
Look online and type Project Tiger, and I'm sure it'll come up pretty quick.
That's fantastic. It is Project Tiger. Gavin, thank you so much for jumping on with us today, and good luck with the book. And when you write the next one, we'll talk to you again.
Thanks. Look forward to it. Cheers, guys.
All right, cheers. Thanks
so much. Man, he's got the footy in him. You can tell.
I wish I was British. Man.
Are we mates? Are we mates?
We are.
Is that the terminology for us?
We're a school full of mates.
I didn't get. You know how hard it was for me not to just talk only
British
football.
Oh, hello.
No, football. I just wanted to.
Please never again, Tommy.
I just wanted to talk all football with him.
I just wanted to play him the Walsall bit from November
of
2024.
That would have been great.
Exactly.
And just hear him hang up
Mason,
on the other side.
how long on the phone with him would it take for you to convince him to be a Walsall fan? Do you think?
I don't think I ever could. I mean, he said they go to every home and away match for Brighton.
But you have your major league team and your minor league team until Walsall becomes major. Can't.
Yeah, but that's different because you can always become a major league team from that minor. The Nashville Sounds will never be in the MLB.
I know.
But if I had told him I'm a Liverpool supporter as well, he might have hung up. I don't know. Yep. There might have been some bad blood there.
When the show started, the United States was a minus 305 favorite. They are down to minus 286. So not a lot, but a little bit.
Listen to us. You're pitching.
A little bit of movement.
Comments on the
people forgot about the president.
That's right.
About that.
A little bit of movement in the World Baseball Classic at the Potawatomi Big Go Casino. Coming up next, we're going to rock with Austin Herdina. We might have a little time to ourselves. And so we'll do a little World Baseball Classic preview. And then Austin Herdina, the sports book manager at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, is going to join us.
This has to be one of the craziest betting weeks of the year, right?
So many things.
I can't imagine that I can't believe he's carving out some time for us.
And there's no football.
Right. I mean,
that's the craziest part.
Is this week, is there a day that beats out the Super Bowl in betting?
No.
That first day or two? You don't think so?
I don't think it does. I think Super Bowl's still number one.
After Super Bowl, is there any other time that you go to where it's betting?
It's got to be
first 2 days. First 2 days of March Madness. Got to be right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, you know who we could ask?
And you get so much action.
Yeah.
It's just right.
I mean, there's
so
16. There's 16 games on Thursday and 16 games on Friday.
All right.
That's half your tournament. Like, isn't that crazy to think half of the tournament is done
That is
after Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Like, and then the games get bigger, but there are fewer games each day.
Could you say that? Isn't the NFL kind of work the same way? It's
In
like after 2 days, like
In the
half the
playoffs.
thing is
in
done
the
in the
playoffs,
playoffs.
that there's
Sure.
well, except there's.
But then this
yeah.
keeps going. Like this is like a quick, like the first weekend. It's like, half the tournaments, half the tournaments done.
Yeah, I got to think about that. It's
We'll
more like
math.
It's more teams.
I
It's more teams. I think
it's more than
I think you
40%
feel
of
it
it is
more
done
be-
that first weekend.
I think
Tommy.
you feel more of
6
it.
out of 15.
Yeah, there's no buys. Yeah, there's
It's
buys in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you're wrong, Tommy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is way bigger.
Dummy. He's Tommy Orts. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby. This is the Mason Crosby Show. And as always, we are broadcasting from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by, coming up, Austin Herdina, the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
We're powered by Austin Herdina.
Basically. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. He's Tommy Wirtz, co-host of Hot Stove Weekly, Wisconsin Sports Wrap-Up.
What doesn't he do?
Lead-off
Whatever.
show, post-game show, the Mixed Morning Show.
Next morning, lock up the keeper of the
You know,
keys.
Keeper of the Keys.
Keeper of the keys.
Ooh, I like that.
That one might stick.
Let's go.
You know what?
Key
I don't
master.
do it for me, guys. Okay. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. From T in Lacrosse. I have not heard one mention all day of the Team Venezuela versus Team USA game tonight. I listen to local sports radio all day at work, and I start at 6 a.m. I loved that interview. Really cool to hear an agent perspective of things. And I switched back over between you guys and the 4-letter network. I hope you guys can talk about the WBC today. And we got a whole segment of it right
It's
here,
time.
ready
It's
to
time.
go. And we did bring it up at the beginning, T. So I'm
Right.
sorry you were
And-
late to the show.
And,
but
I also talked about it during my crosstalk with John Kuhn.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have a whole bunch of this, and I don't work this radio station for me, guys. I do it for the people here.
You do it for the people.
For the people.
You're a people pleaser.
I don't even know what that means. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show, he is the sportsbook manager at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Looking sharp today for the World Baseball Classic final. He is Austin Herdina. Austin, welcome to the show.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Happy World Baseball Classic Day. Happy March Madness. It's so close. You can smell it. You can taste it. It's basically here. But let's start with the World Baseball Classic. Today, the U.S. started at minus 305. They're at minus 286 now, and no one's heard of their starting pitcher. What? Like, I hate betting. Like, I'm not betting on Venezuela. But if I were a neutral, if I were a Canadian,
That's
I'm- right.
I can't believe you said Canadian because I'm like,
Yeah.
Mitch so badly wishes
Well,
the Canadians.
I
were
mean,
in this
I'd be really funny if I was Canadian. They're all funny.
final. They're all fun.
Like, if I was Canadian, isn't Venezuela a good bet here?
I mean, you're getting plus 220 if you think you have pretty good odds on that. They do have, pretty good lineup, a lot of MLB players, but the USA is just stacked. I mean, I don't want to bet against this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with the starting pitcher situation, do we know anything about this guy and like what we can expect from him? Is it going to be more of like an opener? Is he just going to throw, for an inning, a couple outs, like a pitch count, and then they're just going to roll through that bullpen? Because this bullpen for this USA team has to be, unmatched across the whole WBC.
So we're talking about Nolan McLean, right?
Yes,
We have
yep.
his odds right now at, for like strikeouts, for example, over 4.5. So we think he's going to be
get
pitching
some
for a
throws.
few innings at least.
Nice. Hey, either way though, right? Like the Brewers win in some form or fashion in this game, right? Like, did I see? Are there 4 players?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
4
yep.
players from the Brewers.
3 on Venezuela. They've got Churio, professional hitter Bill Contreras, and the greatest reliever
Bill.
in the history of baseball, Angel Sherpa.
Mm-hmm.
And then the U.S.
Captain
team,
America
of course, has Captain America, Bryce Harper.
Terang. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we still worried about Bryce and his and his fielding and his defense, or is he kind of helping us kind of feel better about it, or are we still a little worried about it?
I think we're all right. We're all right. Austin, how do you know how much money is coming in on the game? Has it been working well over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook during this time? Have you seen an uptick in attendance there during these games? How's the WBC been perceived in the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
It's been interesting. So, like, we've had people that are, the supporters of the Dominican Republic that came in this last weekend, one of the games on Venezuela, for example. We had people from Venezuela coming in. Milwaukee does have pretty good mix of backgrounds around here, and people want to come in and support their favorite teams. And yeah, it's anytime USA has been playing, it's been pretty exciting in here. That game against Dominican Republic was a really fun game in here. USA, after the loss to Italy, there was a lot of doubters, but at the same time, it gave people an opportunity to take the USA at plus money to win the whole thing. And those people are looking pretty happy right now.
Yeah, they are. And also, I mean, we forgot to mention it's St. Patty's Day. So, I mean, y'all have like the perfect storm this week.
Do you have the green beer?
Of the WBC, St. Patty's Day, and the start of the NCAA tournament. So what all you got going there at the sports book that people can come take advantage of?
Yeah, we have the green beer going today. We'll have it all week long, actually.
Nice.
Thursday and Friday for the NCAA tournament is just so fun. We are already sold out for those 2 days in here. We still have plenty of availability on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to leave it open for just first come, first serve.
Free for all. Elbows. Throw those elbows on Sunday, baby. Let's go.
That's right. But yeah, Wisconsin plays early Thursday afternoon or late Thursday afternoon. That's going to be a really good crowd in here. And then just all the betting. I mean, just even the snowstorm we had didn't stop people coming in to get some bets in.
I love that.
We were just talking about it before we had you on. I'm curious as to, is this only comparable to the Super Bowl for a day of betting over at the sports book? Is it something that you guys have, you guys are so hospitable. I know you say they go through all this training. Is it like, okay, well, we have a separate unit called March Madness that you guys have to deal with before you can work here too? What are the 2 days like just specifically for Potawatomi and the, sports book there for March Madness, like with the money situation and the betting odds and just how crazy available you have to be for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting our day at 7 a.m. on Thursday and Friday. We're going to open up our windows at 8, and we'll be ready. People are going to be lined up. We're going to get all our bets in.
What time is food available?
Food is going to be available starting at 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
and that's what time we'll be there.
Sandwich?
That's what time we'll be there on Thursday. We're broadcasting from the annex.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll have food for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Count me in twice.
Come find me. I'll bring something over.
Oh, my God. Austin, you're the best.
Easy.
Maybe one of those green beers for you, too.
After at 2:01 at 2:01 p.m. green beer. Let's go.
Green beer time to watch. That'll be the second half of the Badgers game. Is that?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
real quick, to make everybody feel a little bit better, according to the odds at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Nolan McLean is has the second best odds to win the NL Rookie of the Year this year.
Okay,
he's after Connor Griffin, who I think is going to start at shortstop for the Pirates. Is that right?
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yep.
So you're trash talking McLean. He's pretty legit.
He's legit. Like, yeah,
he hasn't even said his name right once this entire
it's McLean.
show.
What is it, McLean?
McLean. Yeah.
Oh gosh, he's an Irish guy
why
too.
Is it McLean?
Yeah. I mean, let's
he's
go.
pitching on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, you had to start him then.
All
I mean,
right.
it was a
All
no-brainer.
That's the recipe for a win right there.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
I just want to stick with McLean.
What do you think? What do you think the score of this game? Do you think it's we're going to see some more runs? I feel like some of these games have been pretty tight. 2-1, tight ball games. Do you think we'll see the bats open up a little bit, or is this WBC just dominated by pitching?
Well, we have a total of 8.5 juice to the over right now. The American lineup is so tough. I mean, you have just Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, it's unbeatable. Like, I really don't see America losing this game.
Especially in a final situation, right? It's just
right.
We got a little lucky because we lost to Italy, but we got in, and now it's just gangbusters.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some long balls tonight. If we see a higher scoring game, I would lean towards the over 8.5. I just think our bats are going to come through.
By the way, AI definitely says it's McLean.
Okay, cool. I forgot that you listen to computers only.
Hey,
Mitch. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'm just saying.
All right.
I mean, am I not supposed to trust our computer overlords?
Yeah, I know.
Like in 20 years, are you going to be feeding me from a tube, or is AI going to be feeding me from a tube?
Just wait until we break into our moon discussion on air one day.
The moon doesn't even exist, man. The moon doesn't even exist.
Oh my gosh, what is happening right now?
Austin, how excited are you for Brewers baseball this year?
I am very excited. We are not very long yet. Season's
9
coming
days.
up. I'm excited.
9 days.
We got a great team again this year. We're projected again to be a playoff team. We've been in the playoffs so many years now lately. We've been kind of spoiled with a lot of good regular seasons. I'm just hoping we get a good deep playoff run again this year.
Well, that's a nice problem to have, right? Where it's like, hey, like, can we just get get a little further in the playoffs? Like, that's now the mindset. And like, can we get to that? Can we get to a World Series? Can we do those little extra things? I know we've talked about it. We talked about it right away, but remind me, what is the line for wins for this Brewers team?
So I was looking right now actually at the Central. I'll get to the wins in a second, but the NL Central plus 275 to win the division. We had a lot of bettors last year at like plus 350, plus 375. We paid out so many of those tickets. This year, plus 275, still really good number. Only team better is the Cubs at even money. Yeah, I know. I'm watching America play, and I'm like, can I cheer for Crow Armstrong? I don't know if I can. I don't know. But, let's look at the Brewers' numbers this year. We have 85.5 wins. Last year we finished with 98, I believe it was.
Yeah, give me that.
97,
overall
yep. Yeah,
97?
Is there, I mean, I know we're worried about young pitching, but 85.5, bro.
Last year was at 84.5
It
when we
was.
were like, go run and put your mortgage on it. I'm feeling pretty good about 86 wins. I'm feeling pretty good about 86
Right,
wins.
just
for the
86
team.
wins. We're not
It's not
like
so bad.
97 again would be great, but 86, like you win your bet.
I know. I was
Yeah,
telling
you
these
can
guys,
also-
though, I'm worried they're going to be the cardiac crew. Oh man, it's already tabbed. We're going to have
There you
shirts.
go.
Trademark.
They're
that.
going they're going to be losing every game in like the 6th inning, and then come out, and storm the last few to find their way to 95 wins or something.
Austin, I got a big picture question for you because I know you're the manager there, but obviously you're not like in the ownership group of the casino and the hotel. So I don't know that you necessarily are cheering against the like if Milwaukee, if Wisconsin fans come in big numbers and bet on the Brewers to win the division and the Brewers win the division, the sports book loses money. But
Yeah, he's shaking. He's
right.
like,
So
sure.
how
Sure
do
we do.
how do you manage like right. I'm sure you guys do fine just with all the other things going on there. But what like is there a moment where like management is like, ooh, I hope this 15-leg parlay doesn't hit, or it's good publicity if it does? Like this, are we cheering against Brewers fans in this instant, or are we like all in this together?
It's a mix of both. Like you started off by saying that I'm not part of ownership, right? So absolutely, I want the Brewers to win every game, 162-0, win the World Series. I want it all. Okay.
Yes.
Does that mean I still have a job tomorrow? I don't know. that. But no, the Brewers, we always have a full room of people in here watching the games. It's so fun to watch with everyone. We have our shuttles again this year. So anytime you want to go to the Brewers games, come on in, place a bet in the sports book. You get a bracelet, you get a free ride shuttle to the game and back. Avoid those pesky parking prices at the stadium. Come to Potawatomi first. But yeah, we want the Brewers to do really well. This last year, did it help that the Dodgers beat them? It helped our pockets, yes. But our fan base here, we want to see the Brewers win, and it's a dent, but it's not it's not the end of the day.
Austin Herdina with the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. Tell us about the shuttle. Like what do people need to do? Is it, I think, is it a drink or a minimum $5 bet or something like that? Or what is it this year?
Yeah, make a $5 bet or have a purchase at the bar or restaurant in the sportsbook, and you're going to get a bracelet. And you take that bracelet, you put that bracelet on, you head to the annex where you guys will be at this week. And you're going to get your ride you're going to get on a shuttle. There's going to be like 2 or 3 different shuttles, depending on the day of the week, that are going to be constantly going back and forth. So you're not going to be waiting very long at all. I took it just last week to go to the Bucks game, and I think I waited maybe 5 or 6 minutes to get to the game. It was awesome. I mean, it's really, really convenient for everyone. Stay out of the, maybe it's cold or maybe it's rainy. The game's still going to be going on. We're under a roof, and you get that shuttle dropping you off right at the door. So I advise anyone going to the game to come here first.
It's perfect. Austin, I got a curious question, and this is something that's probably always on Thunder's mind, but do y'all have odds over there on if Giannis is going to be a Buck next year or not?
We don't have odds on that.
Okay. All right.
That's an interesting topic for sure. We could spend a whole segment talking about that, but no odds on that right now. Gosh, I hope he is, but at the same time, we don't have a lot around him. It might be time to move on and rebuild again. I don't know.
All right. So you're in that camp a little bit right now.
I don't want it to happen, but I don't see a better way out. I feel like we've kind of burned our own bridges the last couple of years with some of these moves that, the last move that really is out there is to move on from him.
And Mason, as you know, like we could both argue that both ways, right? Like we've all of us can argue it. Giannis has got to stay, and we can all argue maybe it's time to move on and get what you can from him.
It's such an interesting topic because moving on from one of the best basketball players in the world is like that's a hard one to kind of hard pill to swallow and start actually considering down the line. How has that been in the sports book with the Bucks and their struggles and like what this season has been like? What have you seen? Does the action cool off, or are people still trying to they're going against the Bucks more, trying to hedge their bets on the Bucks basketball team here this year?
We have seen more of that. We have seen people more fading the Bucks the last month or two.
Okay.
Beginning of the season, every time the Bucks played, we had more money on them. Now games are kind of becoming more closer to even. Regular common bettors coming in are not hammering the Bucks like they used to. It's something even tonight. We're playing the Cavs. We're at home, and we're a 10.5-point underdog. I mean, it's a bit of a hard pill to swallow, like you just said, to back this team right now. You don't know what you're going to get. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Bucks fan. I want them to do well. But this season I feel like is lost. I feel like we got to look towards the future.
Nice. Well, y'all got any corned beef over there at the sports book right now? Y'all serving it up?
You better believe it. Yeah, come on in. We got our corned beef here. Even in the employee, I'm looking forward to my lunch in the employee dining room today because we got free corned beef in there today too.
Oh, say less. I'm on my way.
Thunder's going. He's just popping to like 14 different places after this.
I know you. I know Luis. I know Jay Saunders. I know his whole team. Like, let's go. Somebody's got to sneak me into that room.
You don't know ownership group, so good luck with that, Mitch Nellis.
All right, relax. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. It's been an absolute blast. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy Thursday. I'll see you Thursday. Enjoy Thursday. Enjoy Friday. Enjoy the whole weekend. And then we got baseball. And so it's every day. Let's go.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. Appreciate it.
Austin Herdina, the manager at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, does an awesome job over there. Tommy, am I speaking out of turn? Is he back on the leadoff show this year? Is he going to be on sometimes? Like
someone will be. He's still here. Austin, yeah. Are we confirming or denying that you're a part of this for the leadoff show this year again?
If you want me, I'm there.
Oh, Mitch Nellis got to turn me on. Sorry.
Yep. All right, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, if you want me, Tommy, I'm there for you.
All right, breaking news. There it is. Austin Herdina returning for a second season on the leadoff show this year. Love it. Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
You bet. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby. Extra points coming up here on the Mason Crosby Show.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mason Crosby Show on this awesome Tuesday. Thanks to Mitch, Thunder Nellis, and Tommy, TK, Kmart, Wirtz for just doing all things. I mean, are you going to get a nap this afternoon, or you still got to work after?
Or are you going to Moe's Irish Pub? You going to pound
Ooh.
a few?
I'm still debating on what's
Are you
gonna
allowed
happen.
to have a Guinness?
If anyone's allowed to drink on air, it should be me here. That's just my take on it. But
You should have written that up in your contract.
I have a couple of things here. One, on the off chance you do use the website, wisportsradio.com, to consume a lot of your media.
I didn't even know that was our website.
Just give us, like, we're switching formats over. All right.
doing
So
it
if
right now.
stuff is weird, like, just know that stuff is weird on our end too.
WI
Okay.
Sport. The
First
site
of
can't be.
all.
The site can't even be reached.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad.
Great.
I'm glad. And what was your question, Crosby? I don't even remember.
It's Mason to you.
I don't know. I think you were. I was just asking if you were going to have a Guinness today. I know you're on a diet plan. See here, I'm in
Green Miller
a
Lite.
bit of
Green
a
Miller
conflict.
Light.
I think I'm going to have at least one Guinness, and because I'm on after spring break. I'm on 2 days right now, and I'm not streaking yet, but like tomorrow will be my third day in a row. Leg day yesterday, upper body today,
Ooh.
eating clean, doing the right things. I'm on the Tommy plan. Just trying to get my health and fitness back in order.
Any green drinks like that aren't beer that Molly is making for you?
No,
or
I'm
anything?
not
Like-
doing the green juice. I don't think that actually it just felt like it's good. It's it's got all the green stuff, but some of those juices with all the thing. I mean, it was almost just drinking straight carbs. So like I
Mason.
sometimes don't even think that was good for me.
Mason, how many kids are home today?
Just one.
Just
Felicity.
one? Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
still dealing with her head stuff, but I think she's gonna be all right. She's hoping to maybe dabble in school on Thursday and Friday. We'll just see how.
Tommy,
she's
we let Nora go in an hour late today. Is that okay, or is that still bad?
Oh, the outro music's playing.
You know what that means?
Nolan tried to get out of school this morning. They were taking ACT for like seniors, and he was like,
Oh,
no freshmen are going to
it's kind
school.
of true. It's kind of true.
I'm dropping them off. Like all these kids.
Just
are
get
going
out of the
in, all those
house. I
friends.
don't want to see you for
Well, that's
8
what
hours.
I'm like, yeah,
Like, yeah, it's not about learning. It's about not being around me.
Mace, U.S. Venezuela. How many runs is the U.S. going to win by tonight?
Man, that line was high, 8.5.
Yeah.
So I think it. I mean, I think they're going to get 6. I think it's going to be like I have the under. I think it's going to be like
Okay.
a 6-2 type game.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I would take that. I think it's going to be more like 8-5 U.S.
Really?
I'll
All
take
right.
the
So
over,
you
yeah.
see those bats getting hot. All right.
Yep.
I love
We are the Mason Crosby Show. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
it. Yep.
Woo!
Let's party. Let's go.
I was